Dogecoin, the coin that began as a joke, could soon be rewriting history again. Analysts across the market are suddenly paying attention to an unusual setup forming on Dogecoin's long-term chart, one that some experts believe could trigger the biggest rally since 2021. The target? An ambitious 80 cents, just shy of a full dollar. For months, Dogecoin traded quietly, staying mostly under the radar while Bitcoin and Ethereum dominated the headlines. But that silence might be ending. According to a new analysis circulating across X, formerly Twitter, Dogecoin's chart has just completed one of the most powerful bullish formations in technical analysis, the bump-and-run reversal. And if this pattern plays out as expected, it could mark the beginning of a face-melting rally, the kind Dogecoin hasn't seen in years. To the casual eye, the market looks calm. To seasoned traders, it looks like pressure building before an eruption. The lead-in phase has been completed. The bump has formed. The breakout is emerging. And analysts say what comes next could be explosive. The key question, is Dogecoin about to moon again? Or is this just another head fake in the world's most unpredictable crypto? Let's break down exactly what's happening, why analysts are suddenly turning bullish, how the chart pattern works, and what might drive Dogecoin toward that 80 cents mark that once felt out of reach. To understand why the current setup is gaining so much attention, we have to go back to one of the most reliable yet rare patterns in technical analysis, the bump-and-run reversal. It's a structure that forms when a long-term downtrend begins to lose momentum, hits a steep decline, and then reverses direction with a powerful breakout. This pattern is divided into four main stages. 1. The lead-in phase, where prices trade within a stable descending channel. 2. The bump phase, where prices sharply fall below the trendline, often marking panic selling. 3. The run phase, when price rebounds and breaks back above that same trendline. 4. The throwback or retest, where price pulls back slightly to test the old resistance as new support before a massive rally begins. According to analyst Mikybull Crypto, Dogecoin has now completed every one of these stages. His chart on X shows how the meme coin's price has reclaimed its trendline after spending months consolidating below it. The current pullback toward the 23 to 25 cent zone, he says, may be the throwback, the final accumulation point before the breakout move begins. If this interpretation is correct, Dogecoin could be standing at the start of a full-scale run, one that could push its price to 80 cents or beyond. That target represents a 220% rally from current levels. Now, for those who followed Dogecoin for years, the optimism might sound familiar. Every few cycles, there's excitement, speculation, and big price targets. But this time, there's more to it than hype. In 2021, Dogecoin's parabolic move to 73 cents was primarily driven by social media momentum, celebrity mentions, and the now legendary support from Elon Musk. This time, though, the market structure looks different. The setup isn't based on tweets, it's built on chart behavior that professional traders recognize and respect. The current breakout attempt began after Doge spent months forming a higher-low structure on the weekly timeframe. This pattern, combined with increasing volume near long-term support, signals accumulation rather than distribution. In other words, smart money might already be positioning. Mikybull Crypto, known for his methodical approach to macro patterns, describes the current setup as rare but predictable. He explains that after prolonged consolidation phases, meme coins like Dogecoin often explode when technical and psychological triggers align. He tweeted, "The main bullish rally is about to kick off." That statement caught attention because Mikybull has accurately identified major reversals before, including Bitcoin's macro breakout patterns. In his Dogecoin analysis, he outlines how the coin has followed the textbook structure of the bump-and-run pattern, a sharp bump below trendline support, followed by recovery and retest. Historically, when this structure completes, the next move tends to be violent. According to his projection, the next resistance area sits around 40 cents, a midpoint level. If DOGE breaks through that, momentum traders could pile in, pushing it toward the next target near 80 cents. Adding to this perspective is Unipcs, another market analyst who shared his own view on X. His chart depicts Dogecoin coiling inside a tightening wedge, producing higher lows against a long-term resistance level. That's a bullish sign, suggesting reduced selling pressure and building strength. Unipcs wrote, "Doge to $1 is a meme until it isn't. implying that the phrase, once a joke, could soon reflect a realistic technical setup. His analysis indicates that Dogecoin is gearing up for a strong impulsive wave, one that could impact not just DOGE itself but also trigger momentum across the broader meme coin sector. If history repeats, a Dogecoin rally of that magnitude has a tendency to ignite the entire meme coin ecosystem. Coins like Shiba Inu, Pepe, and Floki tend to follow Dogecoin's lead, feeding off its liquidity and attention. Beyond technicals, the broader market environment seems to be aligning in Dogecoin's favor. Bitcoin's stability above key support levels has restored investor confidence. When Bitcoin holds steady, liquidity typically flows into riskier assets, and meme coins are the highest beta segment of the crypto space. We've seen this pattern repeatedly. Once Bitcoin establishes dominance, altcoins begin to catch up, and meme coins lead the emotional cycle. In 2021, Dogecoin's rally coincided with Bitcoin consolidating near $50,000. As Bitcoin steadied, traders searched for higher risk, higher reward plays, and Dogecoin delivered. The same dynamic could repeat. With Bitcoin now regaining traction and October historically known as a bullish month, October, sentiment is swinging back toward optimism. If Dogecoin breaks its key technical thresholds at the same time, momentum could snowball quickly. It's also worth remembering that Dogecoin occupies a unique psychological space. It's not just a cryptocurrency, it's a brand, a meme, and a movement. That cultural identity gives it resilience that few other coins possess. When the market turns bullish, Dogecoin doesn't just attract traders, it attracts communities, memes, and retail narratives. This matters because retail participation is the lifeblood of meme coin rallies. Analysts often look at on-chain data such as wallet growth, transaction count, and social engagement to measure early momentum. Over the past month, Dogecoin's on-chain activity has started to tick upward again. Wallet creation is rising, and mentions across major crypto platforms have surged. When combined with bullish chart formations, these social metrics reinforce the probability of a major upside phase. Looking back, every major Dogecoin rally followed a similar psychological rhythm: disbelief, accumulation, breakout, and mania. In early 2021, Doge spent months between $0.002 and $0.005 before exploding 14,000% to reach 73 cents. Each move was preceded by a tightening structure and low volatility period, just like the one seen today. The difference now is maturity. The crypto market of 2025 is far more liquid and structured than in 2021. Institutions are cautiously stepping in, spot ETFs are reshaping investor access, and meme coins have evolved from jokes into cultural investment narratives. That maturity doesn't erase volatility, but it strengthens the foundation for sustainable rallies. So, could Dogecoin truly reach 80 cents again? The technical setup suggests it's possible. The bump-and-run reversal pattern has historically marked turning points in major markets, from equities to commodities to cryptocurrencies. When confirmed with volume and structure, it tends to produce sustained rallies rather than short-term spikes. If Dogecoin follows this pattern cleanly, it could first aim for the 40 to 45 cents zone as initial resistance, then climb toward the 80 cents target projected by analysts like Mikybull Crypto. That would represent a new all-time high and potentially reignite mainstream attention to the meme coin sector. But as every experienced trader knows, potential is uncertainty. Market sentiment can change quickly. False breakouts and profit-taking often test conviction before the true move begins. That's why many analysts caution that this current retest phase, the so-called throwback, is crucial. It's where early investors decide whether to hold or fold. Still, the setup is hard to ignore. Both Mikybull and Unipcs have drawn attention to structural indicators that align with historic rallies. The wedge formation, higher lows, reclaimed trendlines, and strengthening on-chain activity collectively point toward momentum building beneath the surface. If the market cooperates, with Bitcoin holding above support and liquidity continuing to expand, Dogecoin could easily re-enter the conversation as one of the top-performing assets of the quarter. And if the rally accelerates, the symbolic $1 mark, once dismissed as pure meme fantasy, might not seem so far-fetched after all. In the end, Dogecoin's story has always been about more than price. It's about sentiment, about the unpredictable mix of humor, community, and optimism that turns an internet joke into a global movement. Each cycle, skeptics fade, and believers multiply. Right now, as analysts watch charts, communities rally, and October approaches with its usual bullish reputation, the market seems to be asking the same question once more. Is Dogecoin preparing to do what it does best, defy logic, exceed expectations, and prove that sometimes the meme really does move the market?